Hey, it's Jack Gately from the Real Estate School, and I wanted to bring you up to date on the new procedure to apply for the exam. They do make this somewhat of a moving target. They've issued a number of candidate bulletin updates recently, the Exam Center PSI, and unfortunately, they don't notify us, the schools, when they do that. So we have now a new update for you. Let's get into it. So the first thing you're going to want to do is get a hold of your candidate bulletin, which if you're a student at my school, that would be the link for the class materials. You can also find that link in the congratulations email, which you probably just received. Remember, you cannot apply for the exam until you complete class. Let me say that again. You cannot apply for the exam until you complete class. Look for the link to your materials in your congratulations email if you're a student at our school. So here is the bulletin. We're going to scroll down to the checklist, which is usually somewhere in the page 15 through 20 area. It might vary based upon which booklet you have. The booklet that we're looking at now, or the candidate bulletin that we're basing this video on, I should say, is from February 2023. Okay, great. We've scrolled down to the checklist. It is now on page 19 of the candidate bulletin. So, again, it's slightly variable, but that's where we found it when we looked in the February 2023 candidate bulletin, page 19. So, it says right at the top, they still keep on getting this wrong. Complete checklist before you mail your application. Oh my God, do not mail your application. The only way you can apply for the exam is by emailing your application. There is no other way. You must email your application. I can't believe they still got that wrong. All right, now, the checklist. The application is complete, legible, and signed. Oh, Jack, where do I get the application? It's in this booklet, or bulletin, I should say. There are some things here that are for brokers only, and they're labeled as brokers only. So we talk about those specific things in broker class. So if you're a broker candidate watching this video, you know who you are and you know what these things already are. So we won't go into details on those. Current picture. That applies to salespersons or broker candidates. How do you do that, Jack? Just take a selfie, a reasonably good selfie, and save it as an image file and include it with your application. Correct fee is attached. Your credit card information is included. No cash. This is also wrong because actually now you pay for your exam as part after you get approved. So as you might know, the state is going to do a background check on you. That takes like 30 days, although that is also variable. And once that comes back, they'll allow you to book your time slot and then you pay. Appropriate education document is signed. That's the education certificate which downloaded automatically when you completed class. Then there's another broker requirement. We talked about that. You got to get your 3 endorsements. Those are fine, upstanding Americans here in Massachusetts. No classmates, no relatives. Another broker requirement. You all know about that, broker people. Call it Corey acknowledgement form is completed and attached. We'll actually bring that up on the screen in a minute. I want to talk about a detail or two of that. The school form is filled out correctly. Student name on the form and program into that's all automatic, so to speak. There is a requirement for another broker item here. Again, brokers only. Now down here at the bottom, it gives you the email address to email your application. That is the only way to apply for the exam as of February 2023. They do give the mailing address. I don't know why they do that, but they do not mail it in the U.S. mail. You can only email it. Oh, so that should pretty much cover this page. Let's get into more detail. On the Corey acknowledgement form, which is a few pages after this, the biggest questions I get here is, what do I write for Board of Registration? You want to write real estate. What is my license type? Well, if you're new in the business, that's going to be salesperson. If you're already, or if you're going for the broker, then you want to type broker. On page 2 of the Corey application, my recommendation is you leave this all blank until you're actually in the presence of the notary, because this needs to be notarized, and they're going to want to make sure that you filled it out in your own hand, and then they'll verify your identity. Jack, where do I get a notary? You go to the bank. That's probably the most likely place. Insurance agency, real estate. Google Maps. Just Google it. You'll find one around. Bank is a good place to look. In regards to the candidate endorsements, these are 3 fine, upstanding Americans that you have to get signatures for. Just supervise them when they fill this out. Some people fill the stuff out in the wrong line, and it's just a complete mess. Just kind of oversee it when they're doing it. Just my 2 cents there. A little from experience advice here. The application itself is fairly straightforward. Name, rank, serial number, so to speak. Pretty straightforward there. All those questions. On the back side, or page 2, I should say, they're going to ask you a bunch of questions about whether you ever did something bad. You know what I'm saying? And, or if you were denied a professional license. There's a number of questions there. Be sure to answer them truthfully. Now, they used to have a section where you used to actually handwrite your credit card information. And they still, in this bulletin, they still make reference to it. The February 23 bulletin, they still make reference to it. But that's not actually how it works anymore. If you go to page 6 of the February 23 bulletin, you'll see that after you are approved for the exam, you will be eligible to schedule the exam based upon one of the following methods, basically in person or online. Now, if you scroll down through here, they're going to have you set up an account and all that other good stuff. Remember, this is only after you're approved. And if you scroll down a little bit farther, after you select your date, step 3 on page 7, then they ask for your payment details. So no longer do you fill it in and send the payment details beforehand. You're going to do this online payment rather than handwriting your credit card information. This is probably a step in the right direction. This is definitely a step in the right direction. Good job, PSI. My only criticism is that you should have erased any prior references to including your payment with the application, because you don't do that anymore. You're going to email your application, but not with the credit card information. You're going to use the credit card information later on after you're approved. Check pages 6 and 7 for exactly how to do that. All right, hey, I think that pretty much covers it all. Don't forget, the only way to apply is by email. I'm Jack Gately, owner of the Real Estate School, Online Real Estate Academy, and owner of Jack Gately Real Estate. Have a great day.